Hey friends, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for jumping on my channel and joining me for a class today. Now I have got a beginner Pilates class that uses one of our favorite props. It is one of the circular resistance bands. Now if you have a regular resistance band at home and not one that is in a circle, it's actually, you can still do this. You can just tie it in a circle. We're going to start with it around our thighs. If you want to shimmy into it before we get there, that's okay, but that's where we're headed. This is going to be a great one for our outer and inner thighs. Holding in place takes a lot of strength in our own body, but it's also great because we won't have to think so much about our knees. It helps to really keep them in place, tracking them for us so we don't have to think about it quite as much. Roll out your mat and let's get started. So as I mentioned, we will be using our handy dandy blue band, and this is one of those circular guys. Now, just so you know, we all feel a little silly stepping inside this, so don't worry if you do too. But we are going to put it around our legs and then shimmy it up above our knees. Now personally, I like the way it feels right between my knees and my thighs, not too close to either. If you've got some sensitivity in that area of the body, you need to adjust it at any point, that's okay, no big deal. But let's just start standing tall and straight, toes together, inner thighs obviously touching with the help of that band, hands on our hips, belly button in. I'm going to turn this way so we can talk real quick about the back of our body. We do not want to dump forward here whatsoever. Pull your navel into your spine, and we don't want to think of tucking the tail, but lightly dropping your sitting bones towards the ground just so we can lengthen up and out of our waist. Hands hang heavy down by your side. Take a big sip of air in, big sigh out. Let those shoulders slide up to your ears and then roll them back, opening up the chest, but not so much that our ribs open. We want to keep those guys together too. Now hands will come back to our hips, and we're just going to put a small bend in our knee. Now before we go anywhere, before we really move, I'm going to have us talk about a position we're going to be in for a little bit. Now right now, do you see my shoulders are right above my hips? There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but we're actually going to come to a small hinge. I have found that both in my body and in my students, having this tiny hinge to start off with really does help us prevent this kind of dumping forward, especially when we're up right here. After a while, it can be really easy to just let all that hang out, which doesn't feel good or look good, but instead, bending our knees and a slight hinge forward can really be helpful to keep that length in the lowest spot of your spine. Now we're going to hold here, and I'm going to turn this way again, but I want you to pull your belly button in, hands still on the hips. We don't want to look directly down at our toes because then our neck will come out of alignment, but you want to look at kind of a diagonal angle if you're not looking up at me at the screen. Either way is fine. But sink a little deeper, pull that belly button in, and then 5 times I simply want you to step your right foot out and then step it in. Inhale, step it out. Exhale, step it in. So this is slow, this is steady, nothing big, nothing crazy going on yet, but we're just taking our foot out and pulling it back in. And as much as we can, we're trying to keep that weight nice and even. If you do kind of shift side to side, we're all human, it's not the end of the world. You could also put your hand on a wall, on a chair to help give you a little brace if you need to. Let's do 2 more. Out and in, last one, out and in. Zip up those inner thighs, pull that belly button up and in. Did you lose any length in your low back? It's okay if you did, but let's readjust. And then out and into the left or to the right if you did the other side. If you've been in class with me, you know I do the wrong side constantly. So if you ever do the right when I say left or vice versa, just know we'll always do both sides. So it's nothing to be worried about. Out and in a few more times. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Last one out. Pull it in. Now from here, we're going to do kind of a little scurry from side to side. We're going to keep that bend in our knees. We're going to pull our belly button in, broaden our shoulders, and I want us to step out, shift our weight over, and then our legs don't come together. They still stay far enough apart that we've got a little resistance in that band, and then we step out again and pull it in. So to the left, right comes in, left out, right comes in. So just back and forth a couple of times. And the goal right here is that we want to keep that band active the whole time. We want our legs to be turned on and engaged the entire time. Now, we also want to think about, as much as we can, trying to keep our hips and our shoulders at the same spot. We're all human, so we might tip a little bit, but we just don't want to go to like I'm a little teapot all the way over. As much as you can, even it out. Inhale, step. Exhale, return. Inhale, step. Exhale, return. A couple more times. Just side to side. Now, you know as well as I do that if you need to pause at any moment, if you need to take things up a notch or down, that's always all right. Last one. Go ahead and come onto center, and instead of having our knees together, take a little bit of a wider stance. Hips, feet should be in line with the hips, not too wide, not too narrow. Keep pulling that belly button in and sit a little bit deeper. Take a great big inhale. Now from here, I do want us to bring our shoulders back over our hips. We're going to keep the bend in our little right leg, but start to straighten our left, which just means we're going to stand up and bring that right foot off the ground. There's a little bend there, nothing big, nothing crazy. Now, if you can, extend and reach it all the way out. I want you to think of flexing your foot, toes are reaching up towards your face, heel down to the ground, and as much as we can, we want our legs to stay parallel, which means my toes are pointing forward towards you, not out and away from my body. Keep reaching them that way, keep toning that spot where your thigh and your glute connect. At any moment you need to bend your standing knee to give yourself support, that's okay, but keep pulling that belly button up and in, rolling those shoulders back. And we're going to take a big sip of air in. And as you exhale, just reach that foot out. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, reach it out. Pull it right back in. Exhale, right back out. 3 more, pull it in. Exhale, right back out. 2 more. Exhale out. Last one. Exhale out, hold. Now, right here, we are going to rotate our legs so it's turning out, and then we're going to bring it back in. Rotate from that inner thigh, and then come back in. Now, I know it looks like my ankle is moving, but my ankle is only moving because my inner thigh is working. So, only turn out so far as what feels good in your hip joint. Last time, turn that foot out, stay stamped down into your left side, grow taller out it, hands still on your hips. You could even take them off to the side if that works better for you. And then take a big deep inhale, rotate it back to center, bend both knees, sink back into our little kind of mini chair or little squat, whatever you want to call it. Zip up through the front of the body, reach those hips back, and then we're going to shift our weight over to our right foot, stand tall on it, lifting the left, holding that bend just for a moment, and then when you're ready, low belly in, shoulders nice and broad, extend that foot out, nice and long. And same thing to the other side. The minute you need to bend your knee, the minute you want to put a hand somewhere to give yourself support, you do you. And then we'll just exhale, open, inhale, close. Exhale, open, inhale, close. Tone that belly. Bring it in. Think of cinching the waist. It's like there's a little belt around the small of your belly, gently guiding it in just a little bit more. Here we go. 3 more. And 2. Last one. Now we're going to keep it out, and we're going to do our little rotation. So it's from that inner thigh that we rotated out, and we bring it in. And do you notice that my foot, it might go up and down just a little bit, but I'm trying with all my might to simply move in that ball and socket joint. I'm just rotating way up in my hip and rotating it back. Tone the belly as you rotate it out. Bring it back. Stand taller through that right side. Almost imagine I've come up next to you, and I'm pulling your ears straight up to the sky, helping you to grow taller, to have that big, beautiful posture. Last one, rotate out. Let's stand for a moment. Stand taller, stand straighter, belly button in, big, deep, full inhale. Rotate it back, slowly bend the knees, sink back down. Wiggle out those hips if you need to. Pull that belly button in, sink deeper, broaden your shoulder, and we're going to do our little kind of crab walk side to side. So inhale, exhale, return. Inhale, exhale, return. To the left, to the right, 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 to the back right. Last one left. Hold right here, stand. Oh, nope. We're going to hold here, shift our weight over, and then stand tall on that right side, lifting the left. Extend it nice and straight, just like we did before. But instead of having our leg parallel to start out, we're immediately going to rotate it. If you need to adjust anything in your body, you do you. But keep your low belly engaged. Keep turning on the back of your thigh and glute, that spot where they connect. Give it a little squeeze. And then from here, big deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift your toes. Inhale, drop it down. Stamp down into the ground, stand taller as you exhale. 3 more down, exhale, lift. 2 more down, exhale, lift. Last one, exhale, lift, hold. Take a great big inhale. Great big full breath out. Rotate the leg in, slowly bend both, shift over to the right, stand tall, and then rotate. Same thing to the other side. Remember, you can put a little micro bend in that knee if we need to, but big deep inhale to start. Exhale, cinch the waist, lift your toe. Drop it right back down, exhale, lift. Drop it right back down, exhale, lift. Slow and steady wins the race, my friends. It is not about going crazy fast or doing the biggest movement. It is being careful and mindful in our body. That's what Pilates is all about. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Hold there for a moment. Stamp down, stand taller, stand straighter. Big deep inhale. Rotate it back. Slowly set yourself down. Wiggle out those hips if you need to. Go ahead and move it around. And then from here, I'm going to turn to face the side. You don't have to. We're going to keep that space between our feet. We're going to keep taking our hinge forward instead of having our shoulders over our hips, reaching our sitting bones back. Hands stay there, or you could even set them on something if you'd like. But I want you to take a big deep inhale. And as you exhale, I just want you to set your right foot back behind you. And then from here, we're just going to take a sip of air in again and pull that leg back. Now, don't bring it all the way down. Do you see I'm in a little bit of a forced arch? That's on purpose. Most of my weight is in my left foot right now. We want to keep our spine so long and straight, but just go out and in. Inhale out, exhale in. Think of toning that stomach more and more each time you pull that leg back in. 3 more. 2. Last one. Set the heel down, shift the weight into your right foot, pick up the left heel, bring it back, find that position at first. Notice, did your hips wiggle or wobble at all? We want to keep them as level as possible. We want to open those shoulders, and then when you're ready, big inhale, exhale, pull. Inhale out, exhale, pull. 3 more out, exhale, pull. 2 more, bring it in. Last one, bring it in, stay, take a breath. Stand tall, stand straight, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let those hands be heavy. Drop your chin to your chest. Let's roll all the way down. We're going to keep our band on our thighs, but come on down to a seat. No, that might be a little bit awkward, but who cares? No one's watching you. Arrive down on the mat however you need to, and then keep the band at that spot it's been the entire class. Hands behind the thighs. Roll the shoulders, lift the heart and chest. Stamp down into the floor with both of your feet. Take your fingertips out in front of you. Take a big sip of air in. Tip your pelvis back, roll down into a small C curve. Nothing big, nothing crazy. A spot that you can comfortably hold and feel strong and secure in your body. And now from here, I want you to stamp so hard, so deep into your left foot. Hug those hands towards one another like you're holding an imaginary present. And then exhale, lift your right leg. Inhale, drop it right back down. Exhale, tone the tummy, lift your right leg. Drop it down. Exhale, lift. Reach it down, exhale, lift. Last one down, exhale, lift. Bring it on down, stay, stamp into the right foot. If you need to come up, do so, but when you're ready, we're just gonna exhale, lift the left. Down and up. You got this, my friends. 3 more. And 2. Last one. Set that foot on the floor. Tone your belly even more, really curve through the back of the body. And then from here, keep feeling like you're smashing your feet into the floor. And we're just going to lift and lower our hands for 5. Lift it up, 4. Do you notice that my hands are not coming all the way above my head, but instead at a little diagonal line? That's on purpose. 2 more. Last one. Hold it right there. Reach, curl, find that lovely, beautiful C curve, and we're going to lift and lower our right foot again. Big, deep inhale to prepare. Exhale all the breath out of your body to lift. 4 more. And 3. 2. Last one. Set that foot down. Press into it. Curl a little bit more. Big inhale. You know where we're going. Left foot lifts. You got this. You look beautiful. 2. Last one. Press that foot down. Curl a little bit more. Really tip, find that C curve, and then let's lift and lower for 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Hold right here. Take a big deep inhale. Exhale, roll yourself all the way up to a seat. Take one more breath. And then we're going to tip our pelvis back and roll slowly, slowly, slowly all the way down onto our back. How gentle can you make that? Once you arrive on your mat, we'll walk our feet in just for a moment so we can work on imprinting that spine. Remember, that means to press the small of the back down to broaden our shoulders. Hands will come either down by your sides, by the hips, or out to a small V. Roll the shoulders back so you can broaden through the chest, but keep drawing those ribs in. Tone your tummy so much. Take a big deep inhale. And when you exhale, I want you to lift both your legs up to a little tabletop. Toes can be pointed or flexed or soft, but we'll extend our legs straight up to the sky. As much as you can, keep a little bit of resistance in that band. We want our feet about hip distance apart. Cinch the waist more, imprint that spine. If you need to bend your knees to accomplish that, do whatever you need to. But from here, eventually we're going to flex our feet, send our heels up. Remember, if there's a small bend there, A-okay. But let's open and close our legs. Slowly slide them apart and then bring them back together. Inhale, slowly slide them apart. Exhale, zip up all the air out. Take it out. Bring it in. Take it out. Bring it in. 3 more. 2. Last one. From here, bend your knees. Keep that lovely resistance in our band and then straighten the legs. Tone the tummy, exhale, bend the knees. You're coming down to that little tabletop. And straighten. 3 more, bend. Inhale, straighten. 2 more. Straighten it out. Last one, hold right here. Zip up through the front of the body. Draw those ribs towards one another while you broaden through your chest. And then could we, keeping that funny little bend in our knee, we're just going to slide our legs apart once more. Exhale, draw them back in, all the air out of the body. Inhale, open the legs. Exhale, zip up, but they never quite touch. Inhale, open. Exhale, tone. 3 more, open. Exhale, tone. 2 more. Pull it in. Last one. Pull it in. Hold right here. Once more, extend those legs up to the sky. And then from here, this is going to be a little bit funny. Toes can be pointed, soft flex. You do you. Hands out to the side, down by the hips. But we are going to just drop our right leg down, opening up that resistance through the band, and then scoop the belly, lift, bring the foot right back up. Now left foot goes down, reach it down, 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 down. Exhale, tone to return. Inhale, don't let any pooching happen. Keep that small of your back pressing down into the mat. If you want to think of it this way, it's the same as when we were standing up and hinging forward. We don't want to bend. We don't want an arch in our back. We want our spine so long, so straight, so we can encourage our tummy muscles to do all the work for us. Keep reaching long through your legs. And use that resistance band to help bring that foot right back up. Let's do 2 more. Down. Exhale, tone and return. Down. Exhale, pull it up. Last one down. Exhale all the way up. Very last one down. Exhale up, take a breath. Bend the knees. Can you slowly and steadily set the feet onto the mat? Tone, tone, tone. Draw them in. Stamp into the feet. Roll the shoulders back. And then lift up into a bridge pose. You have got this, my friends. You are doing beautiful. How's that feeling in the back of our body? Maybe lift up a little higher. Take a great big inhale. Exhale, slowly roll down. Inhale, tip up. Exhale, slowly roll down. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Slowly roll down. From here, we are going to slip off the band off our body. Oh, doesn't that feel so good? And then this is actually one of my favorite things to do with the band, but I want you to take it around your right foot. Now, personally, I think having it around right underneath your toes rather than on the arch feels a little bit better. When it's on the arch, it kind of cramps up my foot for me, but do whatever works best for you. And now the nice thing is you've got that nice resistance here. If you want to, a couple of times you can bend and straighten. And I'm not so worried about exactly where your leg is going, but just finding some mobility in your ankle, your knee, your hip, that can be really nice. And eventually lift that foot up. If there's a soft bend, that's okay. Just take it up as high as you can without lifting your hip and without losing that imprinted spine. And I just want us to do some gentle little circles. Nothing big, not crazy hard circles, my friends that have been here with me before. Gentle, lovely, nice circles in that hip joint. Reverse those circles. And then if you want to, the nice thing with the band is you've got a little bit of more room to play with as far as stretching goes. And since it is nice and stretchy, you know that you're not going to take it too far. That band will kind of help to naturally stretch you just as deep or as shallow as whatever works best for you. But eventually we'll gracefully or not slip our other leg in there, and then same thing, we can bend and straighten. Now I do find that using my opposite hand as foot helps to stabilize that leg a little bit more. If you're right now, my left leg is inside the band, and if I use my left hand, I have a habit of letting that leg kind of fall off to the left, versus if I'm holding with my right hand, that band is kind of angling down, and it's a lot easier for me to keep my leg right above my hip. And we can do some of those gentle, loving circles, not the crazy hard ones. Just kind of finding some mobility in that hip joint after all of that work we've done can be really, really beneficial. Really, it's almost like a little self-massage in that hip joint after all that work. And then again, if you want to give yourself a little stretch to the back of the leg, you might even play with kind of shifting it side to side. But oftentimes we don't think of these bands as a tool to do stretching. It's more about strength training, and they're great for that. But they're also really nice for stretching too. You can do all sorts of fun things with them. But eventually, take that little guy off. You can fling it off to the side if you're done with it. Rock and roll yourself up to a seat. And of course, as always, give yourself a great big pat on the back, saying thank you for doing something so good and just for you. I certainly hope you enjoyed class, and I can't wait to see you again.